Hey, what is up YouTube and welcome back to another video from your boy Hunter. Now we're going to be continuing on you want to be a game creator. What is the most important thing about making a game? I'm going to tell you. The start screen, the UI, everything you need to know about the game, every setting, every sound effect. So let's get started. So I'm going to delete basically everything except for the camera. I'm going to do Alt G, Alt R, GZ, bring it up. I'm going to go into camera view. Now I want this in perspective, so I need the camera to be, let's see if I can actually change this. Yeah, I just forgot where it is. Give me a second. Oh, and make sure your frame rate is at 60. That's going to be very important. And then if you want to save this as a file, you can actually start this on a file. You can actually just save this as. But right now we just need to get the camera into perspective mode. So let's see if I can find that full screen. No. Where the hell is the camera settings again? I actually forgot. My bad. Give me a sec. I'll find it. I'll freaking find it. Oh, we got that. It's a piece of shit. Okay, we don't need game debug. Not yet, anyway. We are gonna need that. I'll turn on screen space refractions, and I don't want motion blur. Make sure you're in Eevee, and now we just need to get the camera settings. For some unknown reason, I cannot find it. There it is, all the way down there. I don't know why they put it there. Usually it was right up there. Alright, so instead of perspective, I want orthographic. Okay, now the camera should be in orthographic. I'm gonna do Shift A, Shift S. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna press Shift C. And then just hop back into camera mode. Alright, so we're gonna need a few things going with the camera. We're gonna need sound effects. We're gonna need something that tells the game we want it to go into another scene, maybe like a overlay scene or whatever. But I'm not gonna do overlays right now. I'm gonna go Shift A and I'm gonna make a. Let's start with a circle. So I haven't edit mode with the circle. I'm just gonna Z. Well, actually, it's Y. There we go. Fill it up. This is all up to what you need for your UI. I'm just making something real random now. So it doesn't need to be perfect right now, but you are going to have to do something with your UI. So I'm gonna make sure this is nice and small. And I'm gonna place it somewhere I can actually use it. Now this is gonna need a material. So materials. I'm going to use the default material on this guy, and then just with the default material I'm just going to go ahead to the emission, put the emission up. Let's make it like a bluish color. Let's switch to material view. My mouse is way too fast for some reason. Let me bring the DPI down a little bit. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Alright, so now we have something that resembles a button. Now we need a few of these. So I'm going to Shift D, bring this down, Shift D, bring it down, Shift D, bring it down. So let's say there's going to be the menu buttons. So like graphics and whatever you need to know about the game. Now obviously yours is not going to look as bad as mine. This is just for tutorial purposes only. Alright, I'm just gonna bring this one down a little bit more. There it is. Maybe bring all of them up. Something like that. And then I'm gonna make one more. Shift A, mesh, and then let's do a, I don't know, maybe another circle, maybe it needs to be something flat, so I'll go with a plane. Place it right there, scale it down. Again, make a new material. And I'm going to make it X. I'm just going to call it X. Now this, we actually want extra UI. So I'm going to just press that button right there. So it actually knows, okay, no, it's actually supposed to be something different. It's not going to be the same material. So we can actually change the color of the materials, whatever you want. So I'm just going to make these some random ass colors. And ask me why I did it like that. Okay, this one we want something a little different. I'm going to delete those spaces. I'm going to all R X and then just rotate it. Before I do that, I actually need to make this a little smaller. Something like that. And then we can rotate it. Come on. There we go. Now I'm gonna Shift A because it is selected, and then Shift A. Well, actually Shift A, and then I'm gonna make a new material. Well, a new object. I'm gonna scale it down. Now, obviously, this thing does not have a color, so we need to give it a color. This is gonna be completely red. The backdrop, I want it to be white. Where is my backdrop? There it is. And then I'm going to give it a new material. And then just bring this up. Alright, cool. Now we have something like a button over here. Now we don't want these to overlap. As you can see, we've got overlapping going on. So I'm just going to bring this one up a little bit. So now we have a little UI going on. Something you can actually use for a interaction and whatever. So something to start the game, options, credits. I'm not sure. Maybe I have a way too much. Yeah, it might be a little too much. I'm doing something really simple. So Shift A because it is selected, and now we need something that actually resembles a text. So I'm gonna Shift A. No. Shift A, and then I need a text. 7 edit mode, and let's say start. And just to make sure we can see this text, you can actually go into the material tab and give it a new material. And I'm gonna call this just straightforward text. Why not? Now this one we are going to be using everything as is, so I'm just gonna give this a nice white material, and then GZ, bring it over, scale, I'm just gonna duplicate this a few times. Now that one is going to be way too much, so let's make it blue. 7 edit mode, call this options. And this one we can call credits. Alright, so right now we've got a little UI going on. Everything looks fine, everything we can interact with, but nothing is actually going to work if we just have it, just something like this. So before I do anything else, I want to go into the tab for the text, and then I want Let me find it. Text buttons, no, not shapes. Geometry, fonts. Here we go. So I want to open up a font. Now this should put you right into the font for your PC, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get demonetized for this, get copyright or whatever. I hope not, but I know that the default font can actually be a little bit of a drag. Maybe something like that, maybe something like that. We can still mess around with the font. Now we can actually use that same font right there, so we can actually just do this. Okay, let's just, oops, no, 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 that's off. Didn't take the font. Alright, so now we've got fonts for our UI, but it still looks a little off. If you look at it from a certain perspective, you're gonna be like, nah, this looks bad. So we're gonna go to geometry. I'm gonna go with the extrude and leave it as it is. I want the offset. Here we go. Come on. Okay, so the offset might actually break it. So let's try and actually bevel it. Just a little bit, not too much. Just so you don't see that. Okay, so it's not gonna work. Alright, it's fine, we can still work with this. It's still 100% usable. But with the text, I'm not really sure I want to use anything like white color. I actually need something dark. There we go. So now we got something that actually shows, okay, no, this is actually a game interface. But what do we do with this? We need to give it a certain, animation where it actually starts. So with the font, you can actually do something a little different. So the spacing and let's see where I'm not even in the font anymore. Right, here we go. So instead of right in left, I want it in the center. And then top or right, I want this in the center in the middle as well. There we go. I'm gonna do the same with the rest. So center. Hey, I said center piece. And then middle. Now there's a reason I'm doing this. It's gonna be easier to animate. Right, so again, one more time, center. I should have done this before I started with the editing, but okay. Middle. There we go. So now we got our text. Everything is nice and centered. So now we can actually do something like this. So every time you go into a animation, it should do something like that. So now we've got our text. I'm gonna parent it to our UI. Control P, object. Actually, what I want to do, I'm going to save into edit mode with all of these, make sure I've got all of the faces selected. Then I'm going to press I to insert. Then I'm going to press Control I. I'm going to make a new material. Come on. That mouse! I have to get used to this new mouse. This X4 mouse is freaking sensitive as fuck. Then assign that. Why did you change the whole thing? You piece of shit. Which one was this? Yeah, this was yellow. Right, so now we've got something that resembles a little bit more of a text fill. Right, so now we need to tell this thing, okay, so when the mouse hovers over it, it's going to have to play an animation. So let's make a small animation that's only going to work with scaling. Alright, so I'm going to go from keying, I'm going to make sure it's only set to scale. Set scale. On frame 1, I'm going to insert. And then maybe like frame 10. I'm going to make sure this is turned on. I'm going to make it a little bigger. And then I'm just going to copy this frame. Shift D. Then I get something like that. Now you don't have to do it with all of these because you only are going to working with the scaling. So now we need to go into our dope sheet. Make sure you're in your dope sheet. Then in dope sheet you want to select action editor. I'm gonna call this UI. My freaking U is stuck again. UI over. There we go. So now we've got UI over, and I'm gonna push down on that animation. That's it. Now we're good to go. We're good to go. My phone is flat. I need to plug it in. Yeah, can I have my phone going flat on me because I'm working tomorrow and I'm gonna need the alarm. Alright, so I'm gonna do the same with this UI. I'm gonna just make this one a little bigger. Control I. I'm gonna use that same material. Oh boy, I did the same thing I wasn't supposed to do, so that's gonna be the white material. And then I'm gonna make a new material. So something like that. You can do the same with this if you really wanted to, so selecting all of the faces and just I to insert. Something like that. Control I. Plus, and then just give it that black. Why not? Makes it a little bit more visible. Right, so now we've got our UI. We've got the animation. Now we just need an animation for this. So again, I'm going to start at frame 1. I'm going to make sure this is parented to this guy. Come on. Control P. Object. So the only thing that's going to be playing the animation is this guy. So I'm going to insert. Bring it up to frame 10. Make it a little bigger. Go to frame 20. And then make sure we copy this one. Shift D. There we go. So now you got something that will always play that same animation. Now again, we're already in dope sheet. We can just rename this as let's just make it cross AC. Now we know what we're looking for. I'm gonna hit push down on that animation. Now we should be good to go. Now we don't have anything on the background just yet. We need something for the background, and how do we do that? Well, we can make another instance of the game maybe, or maybe we can download a UI, whatever. So I'm just going to use something real simple. I know that's not for this game, but it could work. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to use it. Nah, I'm just going to make something. I'm going to put a plane. Alt G. Scale it up. Scale it in. GZ. Put it right at the back. There we go. So try to match the camera. Now let's give it a new material. And with this material we can use an image or a texture or whatever. So I'm just going to do something real simple and just give it some nodes. So I'm going to go to my shader editor. Come on. Jeez. I need to get the hang of this. I'm just going to press Ctrl T, and for some reason it did that. Shift S, texture, and I'm gonna go with let's use the maybe like a cloud texture or something like that. Environment, gradient, image texture, Musgrave, noise texture. I might actually just use an image texture, but yeah, I'll use image texture. Why not? So there I've got a nice image. So this is not what I would recommend you use like something from another game, but just something you can use, you know, just for a backdrop. Make your own backdrops. I'm not gonna make one for myself. I'm not gonna even. Let's just do this. Plug the color into the emission. Then you can see the backdrop. Alright, so now we need to do the animations for this. So start whatever. So I'm gonna go into my Logic Brick editor. Now we need mouse over. So I'm gonna use a mouse. I'm gonna use another mouse. This one would be left button. I'm gonna use it at tab. This one is going to be an always, and this is gonna be mouse over. And then, oh yeah, we need an always as well. I'm gonna put this always at the top. This always is also just gonna be an always. And then we need the mouse and visibility. We need this at visible, so we can always see the mouse when we play the game. For some reason I cannot see my mouse. There we go. So I can see my mouse. Now I'm still inside of the screen, you know, in the camera options screen. Now for this guy, we actually have a animation we can play. So I'm gonna go with action and just scene. So we don't really have a scene we can go into, so I'm just gonna hit or maybe we can use game. Let's try that. Game. Start game from file, quit game. I'm just gonna hit quit game. That's just when you press the button and you have mouse over and you have the whole thing, you know. So only when you have mouse over, you can actually just tell it, okay, no, so we want this actually to be able to stop the game. So if I hit play, nothing's happening. Let's see, did I get mouse over? Everything is fine. What's going on? Oh, I didn't give it the action. So that's going to be, it's going to be UI over. Yeah, should be UI over, and it's going to be a loop end. So hit play. What the hell? Oh yeah, and also the frames, frame 1 to frame 20. And it's still not working. Why not? So let's just try it with the mouse over only, and then we can go from there. Oh, there it is. Alright, so I'm gonna make another mouse over. So just maybe. Yeah, we can actually use a mouse over for that, and just make sure we hook that one up to this one. So we should be able to click and it stops the game. So now basically you got your UI going. So it's not really supposed to stop the game, so it's actually supposed to open up a game. So now we need to figure out where our other games are stored. So hopefully you have a area where we actually have games stored, because now we can actually game and start game from file. Alright, so now you have to open up this thing, And I'm going to open up that previous game we worked on. So yeah, I'm just going to have to pause because I don't want you to see my whole thing. So 1, 2, 3. And there we go. So right now, if I hit play, see if I actually can get into this a little better, so we can actually play. I'm going to start, and it should start the previous print file we actually worked on. There you go. So now you have a UI going on. Now this is where the GameStop and all that is going to come in, because we actually need the same with this guy. We actually have UI going on, but these two, they're not going to do much because we don't have options or any credits. So we only need to start game and just to end the game. Makes sense, right? So again, I'm just going to use the, go on. Okay, so that's going to be object, and then not rigid body, not animation, not link, transfer data, copy. No, where was it? Copy logic bricks. Holy shit, they actually took it away. Are you kidding me? Is it game? Yeah, copy logic bricks. Okay, so back in. Makes sense. So now this guy should have the same thing, but instead of starting the game, we want to quit game. So now we should be able to. Okay, so it jumps right into there for some unknown fucking reason. Let's see. So this actually means it actually did copy the animation, but it's actually using the wrong bloody freaking animation. Come on, piece. So we need the animation for UI over. It's going to be cross, and then that should be good. What in the bloody hell just happened there? Who told you can be invisible? Oh, there we go. So it quits the game. Immediately quits the game. That's good. That's what we want. We want this to actually exit the game. Alright, so now we have everything we need to have a nice UI going on. But there's no music. There's nothing that says, okay, no, this is actually a game worthy of playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the UI for these guys. So make sure I've got this one selected. I'm going to go object, game, and then copy logic bricks. Now making sure we actually get the logic correct. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my non-linear animations here, right here. So just for this guy, I want to make sure this thing, come on, I just want to bring this up. So as we can see, we've got the mouse over, and it's only running on one animation. I'm going to tab into edit mode for this. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to timeline. So no summary. For some unknown fucking reason. Let's see. Here we go. Alright, so object transforms. We can see if it actually does have a. Doesn't seem to have any location transforms. Yes, we do. So you have rotation and location as well. And we don't need the location and rotation, so I'm going to delete that. For some reason it put it in anyway. So we only need the scale. Alright, so I'm going to go back to non-linear. I'm going to tab out of edit mode, and that should fix it. Now these guys should actually have the same, we can actually use that, same logic brick. So I'm going to go object and make sure, I'm just going to copy that again, or actually wait, maybe that should work. There we go, everything works fine. So everything is playing. But now we need something that says, okay, I'm actually hovering over this and it does make a sound. So people are going, okay, what am I hovering over? Now we need this to play a sound. So let's just do this. Come on. Logic Brick Editor. Not Logic Nodes, you son of a bitch. Logic Brick Editor, please. There we go. Alright, so again, we're going to need another mouse over. And this one is going to be set to tap. So add sensor and a mouse. Make sure it's mouse over. And you can actually just give it a true pulse, so you should be able to use the same one. Now, what am I doing? So I'm going to use this mouse over. This is going to play a sound. We needed to play a sound, so let's open up a sound. Now I've got sound on my music, and that's going to be fine. We just need like a click sound, not a click sound, maybe like a... I'm going to have to check out these sounds before a UI over. I actually have that downloaded. Now I'm gonna make sure I actually just do this, and then just to make sure it plays only once, I'm gonna do yeah, just use play stop. Let's see if that's gonna work. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make a new mouse over. Yeah, it's gonna keep playing, so that's not correct. So obviously that's not gonna work for us. We can actually just remove that. We have a mouse over, so I'm gonna go mouse over, and then just look that one up. Now for these, I'm just gonna remove all of the logic for them. There we go. So the only one that's going to be playing is this one. So we need this to be set to tap. The mouse over is going to be set to tap. So we need this to be play end. Alright, so now we need another mouse button to actually tell it. Okay, now left mouse button is going to tell you, okay, it's being clicked. The sound. Let's just do that. I don't think it's gonna be necessary, but mouse click. Again, play end. And again, I'm just gonna do this and use that same mouse. So the left mouse button. It's gonna play the sound. I'm gonna bring the volume up for that one a little bit. Didn't really do anything. Alright, so now I'm actually starting the game from a UI. I'm actually using UI to actually, well, tell the game to play from a certain spot. You know, we don't have a thing that says, okay, do you want to play this game from here or what? But we have a way to tell the game, okay, we want to be able to play the game from there. We're telling the player we can start, but now we just make sure we already have the UI for this guy that says, hey. That actually says, okay, we can stop the game. But now we don't have anything that says the game can actually be played from here. So maybe we need a name for the game. So whatever your game's name is, so I'm gonna call mine. I'm just gonna duplicate this. Copy, clear parent. So let's call this silent Silent, what am I gonna call this? Silent Freak Show. Yeah, why not? Silent Freak Show. And for some reason my caps are on. Yeah, Silent Freak Show. So let's call this Silent Freak Show. Why not? So I'm gonna give it a different color. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. I need to change the thing here. There we go. Now I can change the color. Now we need to be able to tell the game, okay, no, I want a sound to be playing. So whatever you have hovered over, you can actually tell it to play a certain sound for whatever reason. So now we need a sound. So I'm gonna go always, put it on always. Then I'm gonna give it a sound. I actually did download a sound, so I just need to make sure I've got this. Which one was it? Which one was it? Water, yeah, I think it was this one. So I'm gonna do loop stop. And now we need a little bit of an animation for this guy as well. So I'm going to use the same animation we used before, and I'm just going to give it, I'm going to do always, and action, we're going to go from frame 1 to 20, and then we need the over UI, and it's always going to be playing that, so loop end. It's a little too big, but it's not really too big. It's not really too big, it's just oh, what we can do is what was it? Oh, Control C, or maybe just search for convert to mesh. So now we have a mesh for this. So I can actually tab into edit mode, make sure this thing is actually the right scale. I'm going to do Alt S and then tab into edit mode, hit A, and then scale it down. As you can see, it works. But now this is actually overpowering that, so still a little too big. Silent Freak Show, we got that. Oh man, this is actually epic. It actually works. It works. Then we can play the game. But now instead of pressing escape to actually do that, I'm actually gonna do what I did before, and I'm gonna tell this, okay, I wanna play the animation from there, because we removed the, I just wanna make sure I got the, yeah. So I'm gonna go object, and then I'm just gonna do game, come on, game and copy logic breaks. Now we don't really have something that says, okay, we want to get into a game or whatever. So what I'm gonna do instead, you know, especially with these guys, so we have a UI we can use, but yeah, we don't want to actually play the game from this. We actually wanted to go into a new scene, and we don't have a scene like that just yet. So I'm gonna remove that, and we should be able to just deal with it for now. Also, we don't have a sound to play with this, and I'm going to use that same sound we used on the UI, so I'm going to do the same thing with the mouse over and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a mouse over. It's going to play a sound and the action. We actually have an action, but I wanted to play a sound, so I'm going to hit tap, sound. I'm going to use that same sound, the UI sound. There we go. That should work. I'm going to get the camera basically in the center of the screen so it actually doesn't mess around with the something like that. Alright, so now we need to do something a little different with these. So right now everything is set to static. Everything is set to static. We do not want this to be, I'm going to put this to no collision. So even with the text, it doesn't have any collisions. That's why when I hover over this, it doesn't do anything. As you can see. I'm clicking, nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? Alright, so now we got everything we want. But we are not done yet. Right, so now we're in the scene and we got everything we need, but I need a new scene. So I'm not gonna have something with graphics and all that, you know. You cannot really animate the camera stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think you can. Let's see if I can actually. Yeah, you cannot actually animate that, so I'm pressing I and nothing happens, as you can see. We cannot actually animate the resolutions and stuff like that. Maybe like the screen space refractions, maybe we can actually animate that. We cannot animate that. You can see it tells you what you can animate, what you cannot animate. Alright, let's go ahead and just make a new scene. So I'm going to go to scenes. Let's call this main menu. Why do I bloody have my caps lock on? Alright, so now we have main menu. Now let's say I want like option screen. So like I said, we don't really have a way to animate some of this stuff, but there should be a way to actually do it through Python, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully. Shadows. I don't know if I can actually animate the shadows. Maybe you can. No. Yeah, you cannot even animate the shadows. Huh, that sucks. But okay, so toggle lights and stuff like that, we should be able to do that. So, yeah. So with a new scene, we are going to go ahead. You can see you have a scene right there. So, new scene. Okay, I'm gonna copy or linked copy or a full copy. We need a new scene, or we can actually use a full copy of this. Now, I'm just gonna copy the settings. So, nothing else, nothing more. I'm gonna Shift A, I'm gonna do a new camera. Go to the camera and make sure it's set to orthographic. Go into the camera view. Now we have a nice dark screen. Yeah. Alright, so Shift is, before we do that, Shift A is cursor to selected, Shift A, mesh, and I'm gonna do a plane, GZ, scale it up. Try and match it with the screen. I'm gonna use that same backdrop. Come on. So the same backdrop is going to be this one. There we go. Shift S goes to selected. Shift A, mesh, and I'm just going to use a plane for this now. So I'm going to press start on that and just make sure this is actually set above. Scale it down. Let's give it a color. Why not blue? I change it. Control I. That's not that. So now we have a button right there. We have a button. We can actually animate the button, but we need some text as well. So I'm going to do Shift A, and I'm going to add some text. So text. And I'm going to do it the same way I did before, but this time I'm actually going to start with this. Center, middle. Tab and edit mode, and there's going to be options. Set it up there. Give it a new material. Before we do the material, let's just give it the font we used. Try to stay consistent. There we go. Alright, so now we need to tell this thing, okay, now when we hover over this, we just want to go back to the previous screen because we do not have options, we don't have graphics, we don't have anything we can change. But we just need to tell this thing, okay, now we are actually in a options menu. And obviously always playing the same sound from there could be useful as well. But unfortunately, when you do it like this, I'm gonna do a always and a sound. Okay, why won't you connect? End controller. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes Blender just doesn't like using different sounds. So I'm just gonna play that same sound. And when you hover over this, I'm actually going to go to my main menu. There's going to be options. I'm going to go to my main menu. As you can see, we have the main menu, everything. So I'm going to go object, game, object, game, and I'm going to copy logic bricks. Alright, now we have the logic bricks for this. So what do we want on the main menu, or well, on the options menu? What I'm going to do is I'm make sure I've got this selected. I'm going to go object, game, and copy properties, copy physics properties, replace. Okay, so copy logic bricks not going to work. Replace properties. Okay, so obviously that's going to work. Okay, I didn't do the logic bricks, did I? I thought I did the logic bricks. Copy logic bricks. I did do copy logic bricks. So unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be. Let's see. Maybe it is. Maybe it might work. Maybe not. No, obviously it's not going to work. Maybe I can do Control V. Nope. Okay, so obviously we're going to have to do a mouse, another mouse, another mouse, and one more mouse. This one is going to be the action and sound. This one should be, let's see, which one, where was this gonna be? It's gonna be scene. There we go, scene, and then set scene. Main menu. Mouse over. It's gonna play that action from frame 1 to frame 20. Make sure it loop end. You can even do loop stop. And that's going to be UI over. Now we need the sound to play. That's going to be UI over. There we go. So actually we can, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, now you want to work, piece of shit. Right, and then the last one with the left mouse button, we just want to make sure it actually stops the screen, you know, stops the game, or actually changes the menu. So this UI, this one, mouse over, make sure it's set to always, so it actually plays the animation always. And for some reason, this actually makes it a lot bigger. Let's just make sure everything is working as it should. Yeah, everything is bugging out. Everything is bugging out. So I'm gonna make a new animation for this. Screw it. Yeah, Control A and scale as well. So maybe that was a problem. And now I cannot see my mouse, which is the most important thing we need right now. So I can actually do that on here as well. And we actually do have the sound playing, but we need another always that actually has a mouse visible. There we go. So what we can do with this guy, we can actually scale it down. Now we don't have anything to click. So obviously we can use that same mouse over. But we cannot use this one. Same mouse over, come on. There we go. And then left mouse button, set it to tab, and then put that one up. And that's going to set the scene to main. Why it doesn't change? Oh yeah, I know why it's not changing. My bad. Come on, action, whatever, game, sound. Okay, so I'm looking for this one. Add a scene. Come on, scene. That's only when the left mouse button is pressed. Which I actually removed for some reason. Mouse over. So we have a clicking sound. It actually does play the clicking sound. So with the mouse over is pressed, we can actually play a sound. But we want it to actually go into a... So we don't really need this. This one. Here we go. Okay, so immediately it goes when I do a mouse over to actually play it, so that's not the way we want it to happen. We need this to tell it, okay, so we actually want the mouse over to happen, and then along with the mouse over, we want it to be able to click. So we have a tab here. Make sure we got that. So it plays the sound when I do a mouse over. Yeah, that's a mouse over. But also we need another mouse over here. We just actually just hit a tab. Okay, I'll just do the whole thing from scratch and do a mouse over, true pulse, and along with the mouse, left button, and then boom. Not going into the options. Why is it not going into options? What's going on? Why? Something is happening in the options menu that's not supposed to happen. Let's see. So this one does exactly the same. Alright. Before it works, so the problem is in the main menu. The main menu settings are not up to speed with what it's supposed to do. So let's just see what happens when you actually remove all of this. Alright. I'm going to copy these logic bricks over to this guy, make sure this one is selected first, and then I'm going to go object, game, copy logic bricks. So now this one should actually start the game, but we don't want it to actually start the game. We actually want this to actually go from that to a scene. And we actually want it to set scene, and that's going to be options. So let's see if that's actually going to work. For some reason, kind of buggy. I don't know why it's doing this. Come on, what the hell? I'm just trying to figure out where the problem is. So somewhere along the line something is actually messing around with the UI that tells it, okay, no, it has to be always running. So let's see the mouse over. We got left mouse, the mouse over. There is it to tap. Plays the sound. We've got a mouse over. That's not actually connected to the scene. Yeah, this one is actually connected to the scene. This mouse over is, yeah, always running. So we do not want that to happen. That's why it's actually doing what it's doing. The moment it picks up a mouse over, it's like, okay, no, bro, I'm actually going to use the mouse over all the time. So let's try and actually just go reframing from using that. One. And using this mouse over that actually has a tap. Come on, hook it up. There we go. And then I'm gonna use the left mouse button along with that one. See if that actually does do something. Okay, so somewhere on that scene is also doing the same thing. Options. So let's have a look at what's going on here. Maybe the mouse over shouldn't always be playing. You can set it to tap as well. The action can always play loop stop. Or maybe loop end. Or maybe just, come on. Okay, maybe we can actually just use loop stop and then just use this whole thing as a... See which one. Yeah, we don't want this, we don't want that one. We don't want that one to tell this thing. Okay, no. So I'm gonna do another mouse over. And this mouse over is going to be tap. There we go. So that should actually work. Apparently that does not work. Well, it's somewhat working. There we go. So we got something that actually somewhat works. It's a little buggy, but yeah, you can actually mess around with this and actually make it work like the way you want it to work. Make your game visible. So even in the options menu, just tell the player, okay, so WA in D is actually to walk, mouse to actually look around, and spacebar to jump if you have a jump, T for flashlight, and all that. All of the information you really need. Credits, just yourself. If you have anybody working on music for you, that's where the credits comes in. But for now, this is going to be, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to call this tutorial game 2. Save that. Alright, so now we got everything working. So now we know how to make a UI, making something that might resemble a game. Now you're gonna listen to the music. Alright, this song is about 4 minutes long, so I'm not going to make you listen to the whole bloody thing. There's only one thing I want you to know. This is actually set to loop stop, and it's actually going to loop the whole thing over and over and over. So, yeah, this is actually supposed to set to loop end, which is actually a good thing to know. You don't need 3D sounds on this whatsoever. No 3D sounds whatsoever with this. But now you actually do have a... Oh, and something on the options menu I forgot to do. Something on the options menu. I forgot to actually give this a color. Haha, my bad. Because now you don't even know it's the options menu. So let's just use text. It's not using text. Why is it not using text? Why are you not using text, you piece of shit? Oh boy. Come on, why are you doing this to me? And we died, we're dead, yeah, we died. Ooh. Yeah, anyway, so that's how you can make a game run from any location whatsoever on your computer. I'm talking about a Blender game. Don't try to run Spider-Man Remastered from this. It's not going to work. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you found it useful, give it a like. And as always, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, guys.